This one's inspired by one of the OGs of FIRE, Mr. Money Mustache, where he talks about the layers of financial backup plans that he's got. So today, I'm going to talk about what are my financial redundancy plans that are in place already. Heyo, Zenpuck here. Alright, so today the topic is financial redundancy plans, right? So first I have to address the context of how lean my FIRE can be before I can get to the backup plans. Okay, so I'd say a single property of mine on the East Coast coastal bubble qualifies as my leanest of lean FIRE goals. In the worst case scenario, like a year like this, where no luxury spending is really needed, I could live on just the rental income I generate from a single property. Okay. Now, on to the redundancy plans in place, because people definitely wonder if my retirement is supposed to last for not 20 years, but 50 years, close to 50 years, then, what do I have to add in addition to my bare minimum in order to feel safe? Okay, so redundancy plan number one, okay, I would say I'm not touching my current existing retirement accounts at all. At this point, I've rolled the 401k from the company into an IRA, and I still had a Roth IRA from a while ago as well. The combined total of these quote-unquote retirement accounts, if I were to compound it for the next 30 years, would by itself make me a multimillionaire again, even if all I had were these retirement accounts. Okay, so that's my long-term backup. So number two, now that I've gotten married, the real estate in the form of our current primary residence can be house hacked if needed. Okay, and this is for both short and long-term rental. This was actually part of our concern when we looked at real estate in this booming city to begin with. There's room for a granny flat, but even before that, because a granny flat or an ADU of any sort would cost more money and permitting, right? Even before that, a house has like distinct wings that are really easy to convert into an Airbnb, and because we got a single-family home, because it's for the two of us, I don't need to check with anybody else on any sort of rules either. Okay, so that was number two. So number three, I still have multiple brokerages outside of my retirement accounts. By the way, that's not necessary, and this isn't a humble brag or anything, and I wouldn't recommend this for most people normally. For me, it just ended up this way because that's how life happened. But on the brokerages, I'm actually have to divide this up into two parts. Okay, so reason 3A is my own picks of stocks, ETFs, and index funds. And 3B is actually company stocks from the last major tech company job that I had. The reason why I cut it up is because 3A, my own picks will generate more raw income in the form of dividends than my lean FIRE coastal bubble property, actually, at this point. So these days, I use some of it to supplement the lifestyle for, two at this point with wifey, right? Because I said my lean FIRE coastal bubble property generates enough for just me. Okay, 3B, the old company stockpile, which can be drawn upon in the form of sales or capital gains to cover spending money, fund money, travel, decorations we want to do on our primary residence now. The issue here, of course, is I don't work for the company anymore, so I don't get any more of these. So this pile is actually a limited resources, right? Still, based on my estimates, if somehow all other sources are dry and all I had was no more real estate, just this company stock, this pile alone can certainly last us reasonably like 5 years. Okay, so that's a very good short-term backup plan. Redundancy plan number 4. I actually also still maintain a rental in one of my alternative post-fire locations. I might sell it, but right now it's getting rental income. I won't say this is really enough to carry even my own lifestyle at this point, but it could in the sense that in some extreme scenarios, right, like worst case scenarios, both me and my wife could move to this rental, and all of a sudden our current primary residence would be able to generate a lot more income because we wouldn't just be renting out, say, like a wing of the house. We would be renting out the entire property. Okay, so the income level would be dramatically different. redundancy plan number 5. I just happen to also marry well. Okay, my wife's an ambitious and extremely capable lady who, by her own net worth, can carry the two of us. Okay. She might disagree with me on this one because she is more cautious, and that's why she hasn't quit her job yet. But hey, I have a lot of time that's free, and by my calculations, if she lost her job, either willingly or not, just her net worth alone could carry the two of us for years, if not decades, for being really paranoid and cautious. Okay, and I'm gonna add in a bonus, layer of redundancy number 6, which is, hey, I just started YouTube, right? This can't really count because I've yet to demonstrate any level of mastery in this field, but I am an optimist, and especially when it comes to my own work, because I've always succeeded at any endeavor I've actually put real time into. So welcome to my journey. But the main point remains, which is anyone who's fired is unlikely the kind of person to literally do nothing for 50 years, okay? So in the worst case, people who have had the discipline to get into fire to begin with will be able to pick up some kind of long or short-term employment to fill in the gaps, okay? So in summary, well, here's the thing. We all think things might go wrong. That's totally okay because human beings are adaptable. But because we're adaptable, in the worst case scenarios, it is possible to contract one's lifestyle. And with 5 solid layers of redundancy, I think we'll be more than fine to weather any type of storm. So check out some of my other videos on the corners. Have a good day.